Hello everyone and welcome to today's episode where we play the White Scars and Hibou. So, two quick mentions before we get started. First one is tomorrow we will be playing my beautiful babies Orphans of War. If you guys know me, you know that Karen is among my favorite warlords. She's the one I did my first attempt at War Master with. And I had some good results with it. I ended up I didn't end up getting War Master because Knights came out at that time and my current deck couldn't cope with them. But this is the month where I got the beautiful card back that I'm using right now. Anyway, so that's for tomorrow, but as of today, we have as usual the budget version first, which it is. Just know that there is this little dude that if you can play it in turn 1, I actually think he holds quite a punch with the Sarjamazan. So I think it's an acceptable include, and I'm not going to go through the list very thoroughly, because the idea is the main than in the deck we will be using today. So here it is. The thing is, White Scars are in pretty bad shape right now, but they have their strengths, and their strengths are as follows. First, they have an insane amount of burst. Second, they have one of the best cards in the game, which is quick reactions. So I was like, okay, so all I need to do is hold on until I can kill my opponent with all the burst I have, and I can swing face every turn with my warlord, and that's even better. So we do have many cards just stole the game, not this one of course, but this one, Ambassador Malgator, and Skyfire, Vinhali jet bikes, even Thunderhawk maybe, why not, Golden Star also stores. A couple late game front lines to have some value later on. I could completely remove them for the Kishu Divinitados, I think. They're also very decent options. One abundance supplies only, because if I have it in my opening hand, I'm happy with that. If I draw it later, I think I won't be happy, because I will be able to play all of my hands, to spend all of my energy. Most of the time, so I don't want to gamble on drawing a good card with that, nor do I want to lose 2 energy later in the game. And also I have 2 turning sides, and you know my luck, I'm always going to draw into the 3 cards. So one of them is fine, I guess, but not 2. So yeah. The reason why I kind of go in depth in the list today, because we're going to do things slightly differently. I've had an horrible time finding matches. I've tried recording this before, and I was facing a Mortarian, so that was too long, and there was so much waiting and so little talking in the previous record. So what we're going to do is I'm simply going to go in my battle log, and the results. You have it here, but it not what interests me, because you will see that these 2 games I could have actually won them or lose them. So we'll just go with the first one right away. Alright, here we go. So I'm facing a Crawl, and at that time I wasn't playing Dueling Sights. I was playing 1 Targota Sacrifice and maybe a second Skyfire, the card that deals 3 damage. So that's my mulligan. And I decide to keep the White Tiger though, because it's a great turn 5, and the Tagahi attack bikes alongside the Forbidden Protocol because it's a great turn 6. I remove the 2-3 because I go second. If I go first, I would have kept it. But here going second, he has just so many ways he can deal 3 points of damage to it and proc a Battle Horror, and then things get messy. So I decided to toss it. Okay, first turn not interesting, I just use my Warlord ability. And he plays that, and that's not very interesting, he just swing face. Okay, nothing special here. I drew Skyfire, I'm glad with it. I'm gonna use it just because my hand is getting full, so I want to spend my energy. If I hadn't anything to play, I would have probably go with the counter attack and just swing into it. Okay, he goes for that, and I'm still like, okay, at least I can kill everything he plays. So he's doing the job of adding some damage to my face. I mean, putting into damage, so we don't need to face bash ourselves. He's doing himself very well, and I don't want to go too fast with that, because I want to kill him with a huge amount of damage. And also I didn't have quick reactions at that time, and I also have White Tiger Dao, so there are 2 reasons why I want to wait until I face bash. And now I have it, so I go for the White Tiger Dao. Okay, we start fighting back. with that beautiful manly war cry. Ooh. Goes for the Ephemia King. At least he's not putting any kind of pressure on the board, so we are very low, but at least we can do things, you know? But that's good. Now some more busts coming in, and I go for this unit. Now I could have gone for the bikes and the Forbidden Protocols, but I was like, okay, if he has the 4-4, then he's probably gonna be able to finish that off. And there at least he needs to take 5, which is good with me. So he goes for that. I think it's highly questionable actually to go for the 5-2 and the stun here, because the only way he loses is if I have quick reactions and I can build up 2-turn kill on him. Or even 3-turn kills if I have my second quick reactions, which is definitely a card I will keep in the mulligan, especially in this matchup. So now I use the remnants of my energy to just deal 4 to him, and I'm like, okay, maybe next turn I can kill him with that. But he has this. This doesn't really matter, of course, but I can't attack him now. So here I'm like, okay, this should definitely be a draining side. This target of sacrifice, I probably won't have time. I won't use it ever, especially with the bikes. They're here to control the ball before that, and so they're most of the time only going to be a 1 removal. So now I can only swing, and he's at 1, and I'm at 7, and then of course he wins. Alright, but I decided to show that game because I still think it was kind of interesting. Many decisions involved. Maybe my mulligan was bad, but again, let's take another look at my list. I was like, okay, what could I truly want in my opening hand? Everything is not great. Maybe the Golden Star Rhino was a bit better. I guess that's something I could have dig for, but I was like, okay, I'm fine with just having some burst early on. Although White Tiger was probably not a great keep, just because he has so much stuns and can't attack things. It was probably a mistake keeping it. But right, I'm happy with the tossing away of that Jackal Sword. So that was the first game, and let's see the second one. I am sorry I'm not sharing the replays in my current lodge right now to show them to you, because I'm in the lodge that I just built for the Walker thing, and I don't want to pollute it with other replays that are not from the Walker. Okay, so now, after years of waiting, I finally find, yay, the Mortarian Reaper. And I'm like, okay, I think I waited 5 minutes on that game. And then I find this Reaper, and here's my opening hand. Command Breach, maybe I could have kept it, but I'm like, okay, White Tiger does won't be doing much, because yeah, I'll be stunned, basically. And the 4-2 is not gonna do much, too. But the Rhino, you know, why not? Why not? I was like, okay, kind of maybe I can bounce back something in my hand, something I got poisoned, so I'll just keep it. So he stuns me, and I draw the Jackal Squad. Buff my attack because there's nothing else I can do, and I really want to start dealing damage to him with the Sajamazan. Without that guy in my hand, I would have waited. But here it is, and yeah. And after the first game, I was like, okay, so I can't play Target Star Sacrifice, it's just bad, I think, so I would just at Draining Sight. And now look at my hand, and I'm against the Mortari on the Reaper, and I'm like, okay, he's gonna play the 8-8, and I'm gonna wish this was a Draining Sight, but this was a sacrifice. But alright, you know how it is. So here I could have gone for something very ninja, putting the Rhino and healing me. I could have not played the Sarjamazan to turn before. I'm just gonna pause because there are more things that are happening. So I was like, okay, I could have played the Rhino and bounce back my thing, but no, I can't because I played the Sarjamazan. So maybe I could have waited and not play it and just go for some bouncing shenanigans. And I was like, okay, what does it do concretely? The only good thing that can come out of this is maybe I can heal myself for a lot of health. But that's useless in this matchup. So I'm just playing the Sarjamazan onto something when I can attack with it and be done with it. The Ula guy was also great, so good job. So I decided to play it instead of the Rhino, just because it's better. And okay, and now I could go for the Sarjamazan and just kill the thing, but I decided to go for a different approach. Since my hand is not that great, I decide I will gladly have this guy back in my hand. So I bounce it back with this. And the idea is that if he goes for swing here, the 5-6 and 2-2-5, I can draw a vehicle with that. I have the perfect finish. And it does exactly that, so this is almost meaningless, just as if it was attacking me. And I really think that he should have just taken his time and just stun me time and time over again. kind of think this was a bad idea for him. But anyway, that's what he decides to go for. Maybe he was afraid of overdrawing with the Kisho Diventatus. That would make sense. I don't run the Kisho, but how could you know that? And I'm like, okay, this Ring Sight at least comes in handy. I can play my Storm Seal back. And that's good, you know, it's a correct troop. It heals me. It's not that easy to remove. And surely it ever survive. I can shoot from a distance, which is nice. And he takes his time and effort to get rid of it, then he's not doing that to get rid of me, to stunning me, so I can build in some more damage. So I was happy with bouncing it back to my hand. Now the crucial choice, which is very nice. And okay, 3 options here. Sorry, my options were Force Breaker, Edict of Censure, and the other crucial choice. So first, the Edict of Censure, I absolutely don't want to play it. If I do that, he's just gonna play Death Shroud and he will punch me to death, and I will die. That's not good. Second was the other crucial choice, but then I'm like, okay, so can I truly hope for better stuff? And maybe I could have. So anything with Relentless would have been nice. Mostly the Medusa and Carapace would have been the best. But like getting something with Bloodthirst doesn't do much more than this. Getting some burst, I guess I could have reloaded it and just fish for Vengeful Spirits or Pride of the Emperor or Macroc Jason or anything like that. That could have been better actually, but I was really scared of anything like you know, sometimes you have just Command Bridge and Byrony House and Second Wave. Second Wave would have been correct actually, but you know what I mean. I was like, okay, maybe with this he needs to stun me each and every turn, and if I draw into my big troops, which I will, that can be good. And also, if he takes time here to stun that, then that can work next turn. So there was a couple arguments for Swordbreaker. I can definitely understand you guys would have picked something else. Maybe it was even better. Maybe going straight up for Vengeful Spirit or whatever 7 damage card would have been straight up better. And I can't cope with that. But anyway, that's what I decided to go for. So now the Force Breaker comes in, of course. I'm not gonna play anything else. And so instead of dealing 2, I will deal 4. If I had also White Tiger Dao, I would have definitely go with the Force Breaker, but since I don't have it, I'm like, okay, I need to be a threat. I need him to spend 2 energy each and every turn stunning me. I need him to do that. And that's what he will do, basically. So I go for a stun here. You will notice the turn previous, I put the damage to his face what I can, because I need to kill him. My win condition is killing him, not killing his troops. So that's why I decided to go for. I go for the Stormlance, and here I took good advantage of my Mega Ambassador. I just bounce this back, and I'm like, okay, so that's good. Next turn I have 3, 5, and 7 points of damage. So if he has no front line and no healing, which is extremely unlikely when you face Death Guard, okay, I win on the spot. He does have he does have it though. He does have healing, which is only natural, top toxic, but I do not doubt he has otherwise survive without that. So no problem. And he still has 2 energy to stun me, which is good for him. Now I'm in trouble because I only have 7 points of damage. And the issue here is that if I go for quick reactions and then just the bikes and Sajamazan, and I could say, okay, I'll deal 5 to you, and then I will turn back into something. But for me, if I do that, he will just send his thing into my thing. He will heal for 4, and then he will be out of range. Maybe if he plays first wave with the captain on the back, it will be terrible. So I can't do that just yet. So I'll just go with the quick reaction first, because I really don't want this, and I wasn't kind of almost intending on passing. But now I tap this, and this is good. And now it's the same problem. If I swing here, then he heals for 2, and then he's still at 5, he's still at the captain up, he can still play first wave and Spirit Trooper. So I need to kill that captain, and fortunately for me, I could kill the captain and kill the other thing too. I wouldn't have minded it if the captain was on the other side of the board, and I would have just dealt 2 damage to his face. That would have been fine with me too. He has a very small turn, just putting that thing down, and that's kind of why I'm happy with the Force Breaker, because if he wasn't forced to use 2 energy to stun me, then maybe he could have done something much more painful. But I mean, yeah, he could have still had Purity of Will first than before. This is fine. Anyway, I dropped the big thing, and here he doesn't have Spectre, or maybe at least he decides not to play it. I go with the Jackal squad. I'm careful with my positioning, because if he plays Spectre, I want this to be poisoned. I want him to destroy that if he wants to poison that, and that's exactly what happens. So yeah, I'm still happy with that. No, he doesn't do much, as you can see here. And that, I completely don't understand why he did that. That is because he really wanted to put the stay of Orb. But like, it's still a big mistake, because I would have had lethal no matter what, but now I only need 2 points of damage in my entire deck. I would have needed 4, and it was harder to find. It was. Oh no, I mean either way. Yeah, but no, it's not. Let me get that straight. I wouldn't have lethal if he hadn't attacked, because let's do some maths. We could go for the squads, but then I need my Sarge Amazon to do that, because I have 2 troops that can attack and 2 other sources of damage. So I could only kill the 2 thing and leave him at 1 HP. So at least he will be alive. I'm not sure he will win the game, but he will be alive and I will be out of cards. So maybe this could have been a good idea for him, but that's just his own fault. Alright, so I have the 10 damage. I even had more with this. I could bounce back things, I could do all sorts of shenanigans, but I just decided to close up the game. Alright, that was it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Just remember that tomorrow we will be playing our beautiful Orphans offer. I really don't mind playing any of these 4. I have good ideas for all the 4 of them. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.